Hi everyone, it's your girl Regina coming to you with another video. In today's video, we're going to sublimate some towels that I got from Home Depot, and we're going to make them into coasters. These coasters or towels, I mean, they sublimate great. The pictures is popping. I did a couple of sets for a pop-up shop that I did a week or two ago, and the 2 sets that I did sold immediately. So I'm making more now for a pop-up shop that I have coming up, and I just want to show you guys while I was making them just how easy that they are to make. I really love the color, how they come out. Here go a black and white one, how it comes out just nicely, as well the color. The color is just popping. But before I get into what all you're gonna need and we actually do, one, I want to remind everybody to make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget to like my videos, as well as if you want to know what I'm working on from week to week, make sure you join my Facebook group, Side Hustle Queen Creations. And if you're looking for sublimation blanks like tumblers, keychains, makeup bags, pillowcases, I got earrings coming in, I got the glass sublimation tumblers coming in, I got journals. Even if you want to just purchase some of my custom creations, make sure you go to my website, sidehustlequeencreations.com. Now that we got that out the way, let's talk about what you're going to need to do this project. First of all, you're going to need some heat gloves. This is very important for this project. You need some type of heat resistant gloves, because these towels really get hot. You're also going to need some lamination paper. Everything that you're going to need for this project will be in the description bar, as well as a link to where you can buy most of the stuff I got right off Amazon. You can actually get this this lamination paper also from, I think, Walmart, but I just grabbed it off Amazon, because you know, when you got Prime and you got that free delivery, you ain't got time to be standing in line at no Walmart. This is a 100 pack. I think I paid less than $10, but I will put the link in the description bar. You're gonna need your towel. This is a 4 by 1/4 towel that I got from Home Depot. I would definitely leave the link in the description bar. These towels, they like 11 cents a piece. I actually bought a box of 100 that cost me only $10.83. So this project that we're doing, you can resell them. You can actually give them away as gifts. This is a really nice project that is very low cost. And the next thing you're gonna need, I do the 4x4 picture. We're gonna sublimate a coaster with my son picture on it, because I made him a Jaguar tumbler, so I'm gonna send him a picture of him in his Jaguar outfit to go with his tumbler. I print the 4x4. I print my pictures at 4x4 because I like to have the little border around the picture, the little white border. So if you don't want the white border, just print your pictures a little larger. I'm just showing you guys how I do it. I'm going to be using the Cricut press today. Because this project can be done even if you have a Cricut press, and it also can be done the exact same way if you have a 12x12 heat press. I do have a 12x12 heat press, but when I do these with my heat press, I have to stand there and hold the arm down, because mine don't close all the way with the towel inside of it. So I mostly do this project with my Cricut heat press. I always do small projects with my Cricut heat press. I had it before I even bought the my 12x12. I still love it. It still works fine. I still use it for my smaller projects. So this video, even if you don't have a 12x12 heat press, you can do this with your Cricut press. And another thing that I purchased was so that when you sell the coasters, you don't want the coaster to be, the back to be scratching up people's furniture and stuff. So I'm gonna leave the link for you to buy these right off Amazon. They stick right on the back. You just peel it, stick it, and you go. So like I said, this is a quick and easy project that you can do low cost, making some extra money, start your coaster business, give them away as gifts, party favors, super easy to make. So we're gonna head over into my workroom, and we're going to sublimate our Home Depot towel. We're gonna make us some coasters. Okay, everyone, I have my heat press. My Cricut mini press. It's warmed up to 400 degrees. Fahrenheit, and I have it set at 120 seconds. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get one of your lamination sheets out. And these sheets, because they laminated, they come with a fold. And what you want to do is you want to tear it apart. For the purpose of this video, I'm only sublimating one coaster. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this in half and then cut that in half so that I have one square for one coaster. But if you're pressing on like your 15 by 15, your heat press, you can actually go ahead and put 4 of them, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then put it on top, and you can just go ahead and press it down. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just doing one. So let me go ahead and cut a square to fit over one tile. So here is just I cut one sheet into 4s to make a square for one tile. So what I like to do is I like to clean off my towel before I get started. And you could just take a little rag and wipe it off, but I'm alcohol crazy, so I wipe everything down with alcohol. And I have my little handy little squeegee I got from the Dollar Tree. It comes in handy, so once you heat up the lamination on top of your tile, you might see air bubbles. So this will be good to just squeegee out the air bubbles, okay? I also got my X-Acto knife in case the bubbles, I can just pop them, and that way I can just get them out. One thing I noticed between using the heat press and the Cricut press was that I get less bubbles when I use the Cricut press. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my heat resistant gloves on, because this towel do get very, very hot. I have a mat that I messed up, and I've been just using it as cushion for different projects. So you want to put something up under your towel. You can just get a piece of parchment paper or butcher paper to make sure you have something on top, up under the towel as well, on top of the towel. So when you see the lamination side is going to have like a matte side and a clear side. So the matte side is the side that you want to lay down over your towel. And you just lay it down over it. And you just take your piece of parchment paper or butcher paper. And as you can see, this one kind of brown. I've been using it. I've been doing towels all morning. The thing about it is it don't sublimate from towel to towel. So I just kind of been using the same piece. So that's just a little tip. You don't have to keep tearing off parchment paper or butcher paper for this project. I just been reusing the same piece of paper because only the brownness is coming from the heat from the press. So I'm going to take my press and I'm just going to lay it right on top of the towel. I have it set at 400 at 120 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and let it click it and let it go for the 120 seconds. And then I'm going to click it a second time and let it go for 120 seconds. So I'm going to let the lamination heat up onto the towel, which is going to be a total of 4 minutes. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and let that run its course, and then we're going to move to the next phase. Okay, so again, 400 degrees, 120 seconds twice. So it's completely done. We're going to remove our press, Cricut mini press. Going to remove the parchment paper. Again, gloves is very important for this project because these towels do get hot. So basically what I'm doing now is just making sure that I get my air bubbles out. And I usually do this right when I take it off the heat. You can let it cool down a little bit if you want, but I just noticed that even though it's really, really hot, that the air bubbles come out a lot quicker when it's hot. And I'm just taking my X-Acto knife and just busting that bubble because it's not pushing through to the end. And be careful with your gloves because I noticed with the gloves that I get lint on the lamination if you touch the top part with your gloves. It don't really affect the picture if you're doing like a dark picture or a real colorful picture. But if you're doing something that's white, and by doing it hot, I have no air bubbles. So I'm gonna let this cool for a few minutes, and then we're gonna trim the top and we're gonna put the picture on. Now that the towel has cooled for about 2 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and trim the edges. And what I try to do is trim it close as possible. The towel is still hot, but it's hot to touch. Again, gloves, gloves, gloves for these projects, because this towel, I can feel the heat through the glove. So what you want to do is just take a pair of scissors and you want to trim it. I just use these little small scissors because it gets really close to the edge, and it's less that I have to melt down when I once the picture is sublimated, and I go ahead and melt the ends that's sticking out. If you do it close enough while it's sublimated, it'll go ahead and do that process. Don't worry if when you're cutting, the cooler the lamination is, the easier it is to cut. But if you're still cutting it while it's warm like I'm doing, and you see it lifting up in the corners, don't worry, because you have to sublimate the picture for 8 minutes, and it'll go ahead and lay it back down. Okay, now that we finished with that, we're gonna go ahead and put our picture on. Again, I like to have a little border around mine, so I just take 2 pieces of the heat resistant tape, put it on opposite sides, and I eyeball it to where I think it is centered. If you want to get a ruler out and do measurements and all that, go ahead. I have been basically successful just eyeballing it and laying the picture on top. The good thing about this, you don't have to worry about if you have it upside down or not, because it's a square tile. You can turn it around if you got it right. So I put my parchment paper back on top. We're going to just lay the press on again, and this time we're going to hit the Cricut button 4 times so that the picture can sublimate onto the towel. 4 times, 1 2 3 4, at 120 seconds for 400 Fahrenheit degrees. So as soon as this process happens, we're going to get back and we're going to reveal the towel. Okay, you guys, we got like 20 seconds left for the picture to sublimate. And so I'm gonna make a quick correction. You only press, I made a mistake. You press the lamination by itself for 2 minutes. 2 times at 120 seconds. And you sublimate the picture 2 times at 120 seconds, which make a total of 4 times that you press in your towel. So keep in mind, correction, I said 4. You only hit the 120-second button on your Cricut press twice, not 4 times, twice. I also want to bring to everyone's attention, because I know somebody's going to ask me, can you sublimate without the lamination? No, you cannot. If you sublimate without the lamination, this is what the towel will look like. I was doing another project, forgot I didn't laminate it, and sublimated it, and this is how it came out. So do not do this project without the lamination. You will need the lamination, okay? So what I'm going to do now is, because this towel is really hot, we're going to leave the picture and everything on. We're going to let it cool for 5 minutes, and then we're going to come back, remove the picture, and we're going to add our back into this coaster. Okay, I have let the towel cool down for a few minutes. we're going to go ahead and take the picture off. The towel is still warm. If you see little white spots like that on your towel, okay, that's just paper. So what you want to do is you want to let it fully cool down, and then it'll wipe off with a rag. But while we waiting on it to cool down, some of your, if you notice, you'll notice if you have a little vinyl that's still around the edges, just take your heat press. Leave each corner on for 10 seconds, and it'll go ahead and lay that vinyl down to the towel. Again, this is extremely hot, so you want to use your gloves, okay? And that's gonna lay those corners down so you'll have that smooth finish. The good thing about the corners though, not being all the way down when you actually sublimating it, if you have ghosting or anything, you can literally peel back the lamination and redo the towel. So if you get ghosting or anything like that, before you seal your ends, go ahead and peel your lamination off and redo it. So, you know, you can't say in crafting there's no mistakes. Sometimes you have ghosting, sometimes you don't. And that will melt 10 seconds on each side, and that will lay that vinyl right on down. Sometimes for this right here, I go ahead and use my Cricut Mini because it's a lot easier to handle. So I'm gonna let this go ahead and cool all the way down, and then we're gonna come back and wipe it off. Okay, our towel is nice and cool. So like I said, that's just the paper. If you notice that your towel is, a lot of your towels is getting that, just adjust your temperature down to 110 instead of 120 Fahrenheit, and that'll stop that. But like I said, once you cool it all the way down, it comes right off with no problem, okay? So after you do that, make sure it's all the way off. Once you wipe it down and you got all the leftover paper on now, I'm just using it because that rag is wet and this one is dry. You just want to flip it over. You want to peel back your square. This is for when you sell, if you're going to sell these or give them away as gift. This way people won't mess up, scratch up their furniture with the ceramic. Put it on the back, push it down, and there you go, custom coaster. There you go. I know once this towel is still warm to touch, I know right up in here and right here, because I still see some whiteness, it's probably going to come out. But I mean, it's going to show up. But again, it's just paper. Just take a wet rag, wipe it off. When it's fully dry, it's going to show, it'll be more easier to get it all off. But there you go. Your sublimation ceramic towel, custom made from Home Depot. Less than 40 cents to make. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget, check out my store, Side Hustle Queen Creations, and grab you some of those custom items as well as some sublimation blanks. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video.